In the desolate outskirts of a small town nestled within the cold embrace of a dense forest, 5 teenage boys set out for an innocent picnic on an overcast Saturday afternoon. Little did they know that their outing would plunge them into the grip of an insidious force, a malevolent entity known only as the Empty Man. My son, Tommy, was among them, and as the days stretched into agonizing nights without any sign of the boys, a creeping dread began to gnaw at my heart. Desperation pushed me to dig deeper, to unearth the secrets of the forest that had swallowed them whole. I, Richard Waters, a retired detective haunted by the ghosts of my past investigations, could not let my son vanish without a trace. The local authorities were baffled, and whispers of supernatural occurrences danced through the air like specters of dread. It was a nightmarish puzzle, and I was determined to solve it. With a map in hand and a flickering lantern to guide my way, I ventured into the heart of the ominous woods. The trees loomed overhead like silent sentinels, casting long shadows that seemed to writhe with unseen menace. The forest floor, littered with fallen leaves and the echoes of distant whispers, crunched beneath my boots as I pressed forward. As I delved deeper into the labyrinth of twisted branches, a chilling fog descended, obscuring my vision and muffling every sound. The eerie silence was broken only by the distant hoots of an owl, as if warning me to turn back. Ignoring the ominous signs, I pressed on, guided by an inexplicable force that drew me toward an ancient, dilapidated structure shrouded in the mist. The ruin stood as a testament to a forgotten time, a decaying relic of some dark history. My senses heightened, and a cold sweat trickled down my spine as I cautiously approached the foreboding entrance. The air itself seemed to thicken with an otherworldly presence, and an unseen force tugged at the fringes of my sanity. Steeling myself, I entered the dilapidated building, its creaking floorboards protesting beneath my weight. The walls whispered long-forgotten secrets, and the air hung heavy with the stench of decay. As I navigated the labyrinthine corridors, my heart raced with a mixture of fear and determination. In the heart of the ruins, I stumbled upon a chamber adorned with cryptic symbols and flickering candlelight. 5 empty, weathered chairs stood in a circle as if frozen in a ritualistic tableau. A sense of foreboding gripped me, but my resolve strengthened. I was determined to uncover the truth and rescue the boys, especially my beloved Tommy. A guttural chant echoed through the chamber, growing louder with each step. I followed the haunting melody, my senses aflame with trepidation. The source of the sound led me to a hidden chamber, its entrance obscured by an ancient tapestry depicting grotesque, contorted figures. With a hesitant breath, I pushed the tapestry aside. The sight that met my eyes seared itself into my very soul. The boys, including Tommy, were suspended midair, their lifeless bodies contorted in grotesque poses. Their vacant eyes stared into the void, pupils dilated and souls seemingly drained. At the center of the macabre spectacle stood a towering figure, shrouded in darkness. The Empty Man, a voice whispered in the recesses of my mind. I recoiled, horror gripping me as I realized the true nature of the entity that had ensnared my son and his friends. It fed on their emptiness, their fears, leaving nothing but hollow shells in its wake. With a surge of desperate courage, I lunged at the creature, armed only with a makeshift weapon fashioned from a broken beam. The chamber echoed with the clash of wood against an unseen force, a battle between a grieving father and the malevolent entity that sought to consume everything in its path. As the struggle intensified, the very fabric of reality seemed to warp around us. Shadows danced and merged, creating nightmarish illusions that played on the fringes of my sanity. I fought with everything I had, driven by a father's love and the unwavering determination to rescue his son from the clutches of an unimaginable evil. In the midst of the chaotic confrontation, a voice, faint but unmistakable, reached out to me. It was Tommy, his spectral form trapped within the ethereal grasp of the Empty Man. The emptiness in his eyes flickered with a spark of recognition, a plea for salvation that fueled my determination. With a final, desperate strike, I shattered the entity's hold on the boys. The chamber quaked with an otherworldly fury as the entity recoiled, its form dissipating like smoke in the wind. The boys, freed from the spectral chains, crumpled to the floor, gasping for breath as life returned to their vacant eyes. As reality regained its grip, the ruins trembled, threatening to collapse upon us. In a mad dash, I scooped Tommy into my arms, his frail form a testament to the harrowing ordeal he had endured. The other boys staggered to their feet, disoriented and bewildered by the nightmarish events that had unfolded. We stumbled out of the ruins, the air heavy with the lingering echoes of the Empty Man's malevolence. The forest, once a foreboding labyrinth, now seemed to sigh in relief as we emerged into the cold light of dawn. The survivors, shaken to their core, clung to each other, forever marked by the horrors they had witnessed. As we limped back to the safety of the town, the ruins collapsed behind us, swallowed by the unforgiving embrace of the forest. The whispers that had haunted the woods fell silent, as if the empty man had been banished to the depths from whence it came. The nightmare was over, but the scars, both physical and emotional, would linger on. In the aftermath, the town grappled with the inexplicable events that had transpired. The ruins, now reduced to rubble, became a cautionary tale, a warning against venturing too deep into the shadows that concealed ancient terrors. The survivors, forever bound by a shared trauma, sought solace in the mundane routines of everyday life, a fragile shield against the nightmares that lurked in the recesses of their minds. As for me, Richard Waters, the retired detective who dared to challenge the supernatural, I carried the weight of the experience like a heavy shroud. The horrors of that night would forever haunt my dreams, a constant reminder of the thin veil that separates the known from the unknowable. The empty man had been vanquished, but its malevolence lingered in the shadows, a chilling testament to the fragility of reality and the darkness that lurks within us all. The ruins may have crumbled, but the echoes of that night reverberated through the fabric of existence, a ghostly reminder that some horrors are better left undisturbed.